Gosh, ow, sorry, my cat is on my lap, but I just wanted to, hold on, let me move let me move him, but I just wanted to get on here and record this. I don't really know why, like, I just want to vlog my growth over the next 3 weeks. I'm just, like, sitting here, and I'm just thinking about, like, where I want to be and where I am, and thinking about, like, my environment and the people who are around me. And it's so like, sorry, my cat literally is still in his kitten phase, so he doesn't know how to act. He acts like he's not home trained when he knows he's in a black household, which is a crazy part. That threw me off. But like, I really want to be somewhere differently in 3 weeks. Like, even in a month, I just want to be in such a new environment, such a new place, such a new blessing that I really want to live in. And I think I just want to record this one for as testimony to myself, but maybe for other people. I definitely remember there was a time, even last year, where I genuinely was in the worst situation of my complete life. Like, I was genuinely crashing out over this guy that did not even care about me. And just thinking about where I am now versus where I was a year ago, so drastic and so different. And I just really want to give this word to somebody that it's like, you can genuinely change your situation overnight. Like, a lot of times we like to sit here and act like it's impossible, or like, maybe not that it's impossible, but it's not to us. But I was even sitting here and I was thinking, I'm not gonna lie, like, emotionally, mentally, I had a very hard day today. I have like a lot of things about myself that I have not discovered, which many of you probably have as well. But for me, a lot of my things are with trauma. And so I really struggle accepting things that are changing. I really struggle with loss. Like, loss is such a hard thing for me to go through. It's such a hard thing for me to even imagine. And it doesn't even have to be like a major loss, like a death or like a financial loss. It just has to be like any type of loss, like a loss of a friend. Like, maybe me and a friend stop being friends, or I lose my job or something like that. Like, any type of loss is very hard for me. And these are things that I'm still trying to learn about myself and why I'm experiencing these things. But through that, you have to practice through trial and error, right? So right now, my trial and error is that I'm really struggling with loss and trauma. But last year, I was also really struggling with loss and trauma. But also last year, I was in such a depressed place that I didn't even eat. I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping, I wasn't doing anything. Like, I literally just woke up and I slept my whole day. Like, I stopped caring about school, about like my finances. Like, I genuinely did not care. But now I feel as though I'm in a different state in life. And I think one of the reasons for that is just learning how to control my reactions a lot better. I would say my emotions, but when you have trauma, your emotions are very hard to control. And a lot of people like to come at you and be like, just control your emotions. But those are the one thing that you genuinely can't control. Your emotions are there to keep you alive. And I feel as though even for me, there are times where I just can't control my emotions. Like, for example, like, if I was talking to a guy and me and that guy stopped talking, I'm gonna feel hurt. Like, I'm gonna feel hurt for a very long time. And a lot of people are like, just control your emotions, like, it's not that deep, it's just a boy. But for me, it's a lot more than that. Like, for me, it's loss. For me, it's like a validation to my negative thoughts of maybe I wasn't good enough or whatever it may be. Like, there's so many emotions that come up from small losses like that. And so, but through that, I have learned a lot of things. Sometimes, sorry, my cat, but sometimes your reactions are voluntary. Like, you can have emotions are there, but not every emotion needs a catalyst to a reaction. So, for example, there are a lot of times where, as I said, I feel a lot of emotion. Even when I was younger, my parents used to like tell my teachers that I was sensitive. And so like, that also hurt my feelings, because why would you say that? But like, now that I'm older, I have a lot of emotions that I don't know how to express sometimes. And I just react. I just want to react. And I have no real reason of why I am reacting. I just react to react because of my emotions. But through that's not healthy. Like, it's not healthy to react. Like, it's not healthy to have a catalyst of a reaction just because it's your emotion. And a lot of times we find ourselves in these places that are really harmful. And I think for me, that's like my biggest lesson that I'm trying to learn right now. is how can I not react to all of my emotions, even though they are there to help me. Not all of them are there to like help me. Like they're just there to help me survive, not help me to grow, or not help me to learn new things about myself, which is like a confusing confrontation with yourself as well, that your body isn't really there for you. It's there to keep you alive. It's there to do its job. But even though it is there for you, like it's still like your temple in a way, it's not there for you. And I don't know, like I may just be yapping, but I think that it's really important that we're able to accept the things that we don't know. And for me, I don't know what's gonna happen in a year. Like what I did last year, I had no idea. I literally wanted to either move to Charlotte or Houston, and I'm here in Charlotte. And there's a lot of times where I question if this was a good transition for me, if I should have went to Houston, because, you know, I'm currently a junior in college right now, and I still have no friends. Like, I have no friends, and I still feel very stuck in life, and I feel very, not even just stuck. I feel very confused and lost, and thinking about, I need to come up with a job in a year because I graduate next year. So like, how am I gonna afford to live? How am I gonna afford to eat? Which, like, you know, obviously these are all things you think about before college, you know, the rent and everything, but it gets a lot more serious because a lot of times you can excuse yourself and be like, oh, I'm a college student, and it's like now you can't really do that. So it's like those are the things that I'm struggling with, and those are the things that I'm dealing with. But obviously for other people it may be different, and I think that's why having a sonder mind, not to be corny or cringy, but having a sonder mind is so important, because a lot of times we, as going back to our emotions, a lot of times we like to react, and we have no idea what other people are going through. And sometimes the catalyst of our emotions, which is a reaction, those then turn into someone else's reaction from their trauma and from their pain or whatever it may be. And then it just becomes this never-ending cycle of pain and harm and frustration, because then you have outsiders that are trying to, you know, protect their innocent, precious baby that you just harmed. And even though it may seem complicated, bear with me, a lot of times we do that to ourselves with our inner child. We like to be that, you know, bigger person, and like, how dare you talk to her like that? And a lot of times we're doing it with ourselves without even realizing, and that's why we have such big reactions, is because deep down we really do care about ourselves a lot more than we think. Even if we don't think so, a lot of times our reactions are based out of care for our own selves. And whether we want to admit it, like the acceptance of caring about ourselves is a step. Like, a lot of people lead that to confidence or even maybe like resilience, but for other people that may be the first thing that they have to realize about their trauma is, again, our bodies are there to keep us alive. So our emotions, so our bones, the way we breathe, like there's so many things and characteristics about our bodies that even we don't have fully unlocked that are there to keep us alive. So why would there not be an extent further to keep our mental state at a balance? And that may come through trauma. Like, our brains are very powerful, and a lot of people don't realize that, which is one of like my favorite things to talk about, and I could ramble about it all day, all night. But I say all this to say that whether you're in college like me, or whether you're about to start college, or whether you're past college and you think I'm just some kid rambling, I think it is very important for us to understand that, one, we really do care about ourselves a lot. Two, you never know that where you're gonna go in life, like in a year from now, even 6 months from now. You can be in a completely different situation, a completely different state, but it doesn't change until you stop becoming a voluntary actor of your bad situation. And that sounds very harsh, but a lot of times that, like, even for me, like a month ago, for me, I was just in a very bad situation, a very bad state. The more I began to be more active with my life and more intentional, the better my life is becoming. Whether I want to admit it right now, like right now I still may be struggling, but in 3 months I may not be. That's what got me out of my situation a year ago, is I just kept being active, and that's the best way to get out of any funk, because the worst thing you can do is stay still. Like, I think of it like water, right? If water stays stagnant for too long, it causes bacteria and you can't drink it. It's not good for your life. It no longer, again, my God, I'm sorry. It no longer becomes an essential need for you. Same way about your spirit. if you stay still or stay stagnant in this depressive area, in this depressive episode of your life, it no longer becomes essential for you to want to feel like you're alive. And it's so important for you to continue doing what you love, continue being around the people you love. Even if the most active thing you can do is do your bed, it is so good for you, because once you start doing it consistently, it keeps giving your brain evidence that your life is going to be okay, because it starts seeing a pattern recognition of stability. So like, even if you are in a depressive episode, a depressive state, literally the worst thing you can do is stay there. You're already there, like, so it can't get any worse than be there. And it's so important to continuously grow and to continuously want to grow. But as I said, like, your life isn't going to change until you want to stop being a voluntary actor of your bad situation. And the third, I'm stuttering, oh my gosh, I'm speaking to myself. But the third thing that I think is super important is just to continue to be okay with your situation. For me, last year, it was so hard for me to be okay with my situation. There's this guy that I was talking to, ghosted me, left me. I was so depressed about it. I was so hurt about it. And so I continuously tried to get him to want me back. Like, I continuously tried for him to realize my worth. And what do I look like trying to convince a guy to realize my worth? But I did, and he thought I was crazy. Now I think I'm crazy, but I continuously wanted validation from him. But I had to accept that I didn't want him anymore. And to be honest, I don't remember the day where I was just done with him. Like, one day my life just went on. Like, truly, one day my life just went on. But like, one of the best lessons I've ever learned in my life is that if it's hurting, that means it's growing. If you're not hurting from a situation as deeply and as strongly as you were in that moment, then you're not fully there yet. If it is something that you feel as though like would really break you, like, right? Like, for example, whenever he goes to me, I did feel this initial pain, this initial feeling of hurt. But it wasn't until like a few days later he wasn't texting me back till I really felt that pain and that hurt and that rejection. But at the end of the day, I was growing, because every other day that kept going, that I felt hurt and pain, I felt it a little less and a little less. And one day I was just in Charlotte. Whether it took me 6 months, 6 days, 6 weeks, whatever, like, everybody's, hold on. Kiko. Sorry, as I was saying, this was like very last minute, so I'm not really set up for anything. And like, my cat doesn't, y'all, I'm sorry. But anyways, like, as I was, I don't, die, please. But whether your situation only lasts for 6 months, 6 days, 6 weeks, there will be a situation and a point in time where, whether your situation only lasts for 6 days, 6 months, or 6 weeks, like, there will be a point in time that you feel better about your life and that you feel better about who you are and who you're becoming. And that's the beautiful thing about life, is that you continue to grow and you continue to have those growing pains, whether it's physically, emotionally, spiritually. If you are stagnant, you are never going to grow. You're never going to grow. You're never going to have an essential thing for life. You're going to become like a car and just become broken. And, but like, that's the worst thing you can do, is stay the same. If you ever see someone and they stay the same, you probably never want to be around them again, because you're like, dude, you're the same person from 5 years ago. Like, what could you offer in my life? You know what I'm saying? And anyways, I say all that to say that, you never know where your life is going to go. God has a lot of blessings for everybody. Sometimes you just have to accept them. That's literally all he's missing, is for you to accept them. Accept him, and you accept them. And like, that's something that I still struggle with, to be honest, like most people. But, as I said, you don't know where your life is going to end up, whether it takes you, again, 6 months, 6 weeks, 6 years, 6 whatever. Like, as long as you're not staying still, you're going to get to where you need to be.